All right, what is happening? C.T.M and YouTube. It is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is the 28th of February. It is time for the Forex market to open, and how excited are we? Awesome. So we're going to start off with Euro USD as we always do. I want to say hello to everybody though. Darren Marshall, Ryan Fan, Andy, Toyo, Carl, everybody that's here, Bay, Smiley, Kyle, Callie, Mike, Elias, Kenneth Moon, all you guys, thank you so much for being here. So first and foremost, we're going to check at Euro USD. Last week, at the end of the week, we absolutely had some volatility, as you can see right here with Friday's candle. Big, nasty down day on the Euro USD, which obviously means that the dollar went up. So basically what we're going to look for is we're going to look for some levels for this week. We're going to get you on top of the market, and you're in the best spot for that. So obviously I'm going to get rid of all these levels and start anew, as it is a new week. First area of support is going to be 1.20412. We have not traded down into that area just yet. The daily support level is all the way up here, but I want to show you something that's very, very important. As you can see over here with this area of price, this little price swing right here made the last bullish up closing candle. That was your area of resistance. So when price traded back up into that area, you can see you got rejection on multiple occasions. Then we traded above it and closed below. But this big wicked candle right here, you got your first daily closure above that area of resistance. And then the very next candle was a flash to the downside. This right here was a bull trap. It was 100%. That's all it was. So moving forward, we're going to be watching for the first area of resistance to be 1.21508. All right. I am working on some videos. I'm going to keep them off of YouTube for a bit until I have all of them situated so I can just dump them all at one shot. They're going to be basic strategy videos from soup to nuts, talking about trading view all the way up to the very strategy that I employ on a daily basis. And I don't know how long it'll take, but I just want to let you all know that. So basically, we'll be discussing how I do the resistance support, all that stuff in those videos. But for these videos here on the weekends, I'm just going over areas that I'm searching for and areas that you can look for as well. So let's go on down to the 4-hour chart. You can see that on Friday and a little bit of start of Thursday and then into Friday, we had pretty nasty selling coming in place, slashed right through all the support levels that I had. I was looking for 1.21204 to hold as support. You can see we did get a bounce there, started to move up a little bit, but was met with heavy selling, and we are where we are currently. So obviously the next area of support is going to be 1.20458. This level down here. So this is still structured to the bullish side. All right. In my opinion, this is still structured to the bullish side. I mean, until it shows otherwise, I'm going to be looking for bullish trades, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't watch for intraday scalps on the downside. So coming into tomorrow, especially first thing in the morning, I want to see how this thing acts around 1.21204. All right. I want to see what happens when we get up into that area. I want to see if price wants to use that as an area of resistance for reload sellers to re-engage the market, looking for possibly a push down to these swing lows all the way down here. All right. Now I did just put a semi Quasimodo trend line on there. It is tacked to that low and this low right here. The original trend line that I had on this got busted back in this leg down. So I don't put much trust in this trend line. But as long as we're trading above that trend line, it is still bullish. And that's basically all I want you to see. On a daily chart, you have a swing high up here. You are still making higher highs and higher lows until you take out this swing low. If you take out this swing low, then something has changed. And I mean on a daily closing basis, then something else has changed. Then you can look for a possible sell from lower high resistance. in that area. First area that I'm going to be looking for is 1.21248. Let's go back to an hourly chart so that way you can see where it is. It's this level right here. If tomorrow morning when the market opens, the New York session opens, if we're trading up in this area and showing an inability to close above this area or above the swing high especially, then I'm going to be looking for short opportunities. I'm going to be targeting this wick right here to the downside. Now, if we get up there and we start trading above that, then I don't know. I'm going to have to let it stand by because we're kind of in this range as of right now. There is no clear direction on the way it's heading. Obviously, the near-term momentum is to the downside, so you don't necessarily want to just buy a falling knife. There really is no level here that I like that it stopped at. So, like I said, we're just going to give it some time, let it suss out its direction, and then we'll have a little bit better near-term thing to think about. So basically going into tomorrow, watch that 1.21248 level. And then I don't remember what this line is. Let me go see if I got it on the 4-hour. I did. All right. So this is going to be your first area of support. So while you're trading inside of this range right here, all right, as long as you're trading inside of that, you kind of just got to let it set out and see what happens. So that's what I'm looking for on Euro USD. Pound dollar had same thing. Everything that's paired against the dollar had essentially the same move. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I don't care about what news propelled the price to do what it did. I just care that it did what it did. So now I make my trading decisions based upon the data that I now currently have. So let's go to an 8-hour time frame and see if we can find any 8-hour areas. The first area of support is going to be all the way down here. It did find a near-term support right here. All right, but I don't know why it did. Possibly on a smaller time frame, you can find out what caught it right there. All right. So moving forward, I'm going to be watching a couple of these levels. First level that I'm going to be watching for a resistance test if the bears are going to remain in control of this near-term market. First area that I'm going to look on the pound dollar is 1.40260. This level right here. All right. As long as we're not able to close hourly candles above that level, then I will be looking to enter a short, and I will be targeting this area of support down here that was made Friday. All right. So that's what I'm looking for on the pound. It is overall structured bullish. This thing was moving crazy up. The last several weeks, you've only had a couple down days as it just continued to make green daily candles and close them out green. So it was inevitable that a pullback was coming. It was inevitable. You can see that so far, this daily market structure right here caught the near-term pullback, and you got to bounce from that level. So that level is going to be important as well. You can keep an eye on that. All right. But I'm expecting this to possibly trade range bound until tomorrow morning, or during the London session, you will possibly get your move. In the Asian session for tonight, if this thing starts to slowly trade to the upside, you might want to be looking around the London Open for the London Open to put in a high and possibly look to target 1.38883. If the Asian session opens up and it starts trading lower than around the London Open, you could possibly look for the markets to put in a near-term low. All right. So right now, I'm not possibly not going to do anything on these two pairs until Monday or possibly Tuesday. We had that volatility was insane when it came in at the end of the week. So, all right, USD JPY. USD JPY has been working out really nicely. It basically has shot up above our target. So we're going to see what happens. We got an area of resistance right here at 106.894. I was looking for that area to be tested last week. We'll see if it can get up there this week. All right, so we're going to look for a pullback for this thing to possibly get long on it. First area that you're going to look for that pullback entry would be 106.326. See how price reacts when it gets to that level. You don't have to rush and buy this as you wait for hourly closures, because an hourly closure below that level means that if you're trying to buy that, you might not be on the right side of the trade. So wick below, and closes above, those are going to be looking pretty good for bullish entries on this asset. All right, so we'll see what's going on with that. Longer term, it is obviously in a downtrend, so it's getting a little bit into an area where I would assume sellers are going to start looking their chops back on this. So ultimately, I am bearish on this for like the longer term, for like the next couple months. I'm assuming eventually somewhere up here, sellers are going to re-engage this market and start selling it back to the ground. All right, which has been the trend for over a year. So until the trend is changed, that's the way you got to look at it. As long as you're taking intraday trades like I take, then the longer term trend doesn't really matter so much. It is a lot more helpful when taking trades in the direction of the trend, so that way you can catch trend continuation. The near term trend on this thing for the last several weeks has been to the upside. So moving into this week's market, let's just see what happens. All right, it's got a nice bear channel here that it's been respecting. I don't know where the lines went. TradingView loves to change my charts around oh so much. So you can see basically something like that. It's been bouncing back and forth in this channel, and it hasn't broke out of it yet. So we're going to be watching it. The JXY still looks good for shorts. Any pops in price, I'm not looking to short it down here. You are coming into support with the bottom half of this channel. So if the JXY gets a bullish pop in price, as long as it's trading, let's see, did that gap fill? You have a big gap right here that did not fill last week. I don't really care about gaps until price gets up there. If price gets back up to the 94.50 area, you're going to have to wait and see if it wants to fill that gap. But if you're unable to close a 4-hour candle above 94.40, that'd be a good pullback area to look to get short for another leg to the downside, meaning you're going to be looking to get long on any pound pairs, or not pound, yen pairs, apologies. So you can see the yen against the pound wasn't nearly as bearish as the pound versus the dollar was. Let me go back up there and show you. You got a lot more movement to the downside versus the dollar. So yeah, there's a good chance looking for a pullback early on the yen pairs again, and then we'll let it see what it wants to do. Silver was, I was really happy about the way silver was reacting, but when it started trading in this range, I wasn't very comfortable with that. I did have calls for $30 strike, and they're expiring this Friday. Obviously, those are going to expire worthless. So yeah, Friday's price action dropped silver right up down out of that range. So now you're testing an older area of support. It's a 4-hour chart. I'm not digging that. So let's use the bottom of it, and you can see that was pretty close. This is the last or the lowest closing 4-hour candle since price left. So I am expecting there to be a little bit of support there. So I don't know. It's one of those things where this could just been a bad news print and sellers reacted, and it may be a buy the dip moment on a lot of these things. We won't know that until the first few days of next week, or it could just be a sideways choppy week because of the volatility that we experienced at the end of last week. Now I didn't see any news. No, nothing looked absolutely crazy to me. The chef yen or Swiss franc versus the Japanese yen is starting to build some strength. You know what I mean? But that's not in itself that crazy. We'll go look at the USD Swiss franc real quick. I can learn how to type. Let's go look at OANDA and see. So the dollar strength is obviously helping this thing get going. So basically, in a risk-off environment, the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen pairs, both of those currencies will catch a bid. So if something was going on to cause a risk-off environment, a bullish dollar is also looked at in some cases as a risk-off event, but the Swiss franc and the yen are always looked at as risk-off. So if the dollar is going up against the Swiss, that means the Swiss is still a little bit weak or on the weak side of things. So there's no reason to look for a market crash and failure. I mean, it's not happening. You did have a nice pullback, and as of right now, it has to be looked as that. just a nice pullback. It was a deep correction or a big daily range because there was a lot of people looking to get long. I got long just a couple days previous to that on this wick right here. All right, I bought the down move, got long up there, took off some profits when we took out this target right here. All right, left 1/3 of the position on, and obviously this candle came down and smoked me, so I'm no longer in that trade. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see, guys. We're gonna have to wait and see. New Zealand yen, it was on a nice bullish tear last week. It's coming down. I would love to see it come down to this area right here, 76.446. So basically, if I'm looking for a short-term short, like if I wanted to short New Zealand yen, for instance, looking for a day trade, somewhere around the midpoint of that candle, if it finds resistance, you could look to enter short, but my only target would be this line down here. At that point, my near-term short bias goes right out the window as I am long overtime on this asset. So if we get a support test of 76.446, I will be looking for that to find bullish entries around that level. All right. This is your last swing low down here, so we will put a line on it as if you get a daily closure below 76.106, this last bearish closing candle on a daily basis, then something's going on. All right, then something's going on. Until that, these things have to be looked at as pullback opportunities. All right, just watch your smaller term time frames, watch your areas of support, resistance, make sure that price is holding. So last week, we knew that we were going to find some resistance up in this area. We smoked a lot of this, all this liquidity. So this was a big move on the pound yen, big move. I mean, it just came out of there and nonstop went up there, took all these positions out. So a little bit of downside is expected, and we got that. 2 days worth of down, came into this beautiful area right there, retested it. Let me get rid of that line so there is no confusion. Retested it and got a nice tradable bounce off of that line. So now what we're going to be looking for on the pound yen is probably a bit of sideways for this week. I would be expecting that possibly. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find something here. Yeah, I don't really see anything all the way up into here. So yeah, this is probably going to move sideways. This is your support, 147.416. If you're closing 4 hours or 8 hour candles below that level, then you're probably coming down lower to test this area right here. As the people that got long immediately, their stops are right underneath that candle. So it wouldn't surprise me a bit if we have one more push to the downside and then a run up. All right, then a run up. So we will see. Excuse me, Jordan Lindsay's emailing me, and it caused a bit of confusion on my part. Or he's hitting me up. I guess he doesn't know that I'm live. It's all good. All right, so pound yen. These are the last two areas in the sand. As long as you're trading above this area, I'm going to be looking for bullish entries. All right, still have to trade in the direction of the trend. The obvious direction of this trend is up here. I am still in this thing long at this blue line down here. All right, just put that trend line to show you that it is still obviously bullish. I'm in this thing from this area here on the small account. So I'm still basically riding it out. I do have a stop loss pushed up to about 146.309. It's just a trailing stop. So if price comes down into there, it will exit the trade. And the only other trade that I am in is the pound Aussie trade right here on both this paper trading account as well as my real account. I took the trade Friday. You can look at that video if you wish. I show you the position, the entries and everything. And everywhere that I entered this on this paper trading account was done on the real account as well. This trade is still doing okay. So that's just because of the Aussie weakness. We've seen the pound weakness Friday. This is just Aussie weakness. That's all I was looking for. I got the move I was looking for. This was the target. We got above that target nicely. So my stop is above break even. Already took profits off on the trade. The trade is good. If it comes back down and stops me out, I am A-okay. Let me look at some comments real quick. Just bear with me. I get in a rant and I keep going and I forget to take a look at what you guys are saying. Enjoying my Sunday. Yep, I enjoy every weekend. Let me scroll down, as this is all from the beginning of the chat, and then it glitches out and goes all the way to the end of the chat. All right, Ryan Fan later. Can you talk about how you place an entry near a lower high support area? Yeah, I'll get into that. I just got a few more things to go over, and I will take a look at that for you, my man. So yeah, what is up? What is up to you too? Bitcoin is finally doing a bit of repair work. Yeah, we definitely need Bitcoin to catch some support here or a little lower. One of the two. It's all good. Elbow cough. Yeah, things look rough on the SPX monthly. Let's go look at the SPX monthly real quick, because that was the next thing I was looking at. So let's go take a look at it. I can't imagine it looks terribly rough. Yeah, it looks pretty bullish to me. I mean, you're trading above the opening price of its last month's candle. So as long as you're trading above that, that's not very bearish. Now, this candle is closing today, or this candle will be a new candle tomorrow, I guess. I think today's the last day of the month. It is the 28th. All right. So yeah, that was your closing price. That's not bearish. A bearish close would have been around the bearish close of this candle. Since you're trading above that, anything into this area is going to be looked at as a buying opportunity. So let me throw a line on there for you. What's going on? Give me that line. Thank you very much. Let's make that white and fat, so that way we know it's a monthly area to watch. That way, when you go back into your smaller time frame charts, you take a look at it and you know that this area is last month's opening price. All right, last month's opening price. So basically, that's your opening range break, or your monthly range break if you close below that. On a daily basis, you got a daily level right there staring you in the face. It's a pretty big range level. Let's put that back to normal and gray. All right, so right there, that's going to be your first area to look for a support test. 37.76.60. All right, and like I said, as long as everything's you're not breaking swing lows yet on a daily time frame. So this is not a bearish chart. This is a bullish chart. Until you start taking out swing lows, man, you got to look for buying opportunities. You just got to, because everybody that thought this was bad and this was bad and this was bad missed out on some opportunities. So we're looking for this to move higher once it catches support. All right, so we already looked at NZD, yen, USD, CAD is oversold. Has been for a very long time. All right, you can see massive to the downside. Your oversold area was down there. It got nipped. There was a bit of bullish divergence coming in. So last week I told nobody to be looking for shorts on the USD CAD. Let it pull back into an area where it could find resistance. Now, do I think this thing's going to turn around up here at 1.27854? I don't know. It's been going down for so long. This could be a near-term market low or a possible short-term reversal. So we're not going to be looking for shorts anytime soon. If it gets up here and it fails on a daily level, then maybe I'll look for an intraday short. But as of right now, let this thing do a little bit of correcting. Gold, I do need to take a look at it. I forgot about it. It could be making a bottom as well. If I show you this volume signature, you can see a clear sign of volume coming in. Now, this volume isn't only selling volume. That's a misnomer that new traders get. They think that because if they're looking at their volume bars the same color as their daily candles, then this candle is going to be red and red. They're going to look at that as selling volume, and they're going to be looking for more selling pressure. Now, could this go way lower? Yeah, it could. But when you start getting a rise in your volume, that means that more trades are coming in. Generally, in my experience, when you start to get down into oversold areas, professional traders are not looking to short these areas down here. Now, if some news comes out, something flattens the dollar and puts a bid under gold, it'll turn around on a dollar. And if something very bearish comes out on gold, yeah, it can head lower. But it looks like it's trying to put in a near-term bottom right here. So I'm not going to be looking for any more short entries on gold. I'm only going to be watching price and evaluating. If this thing comes up here and starts taking out this swing high, which was the last swing high that we got short on, if we get a daily closure above that, then you can look for possible higher low support to come in and look to buy it for a short-term run to the upside. All right, that's what it looks like to me. The technicals are saying that this could be close to a bottom, possibly, maybe not. Maybe it comes right up here and finds resistance. Let's go find an area. First area is that bullish candle right there. So this low, and it's going to even up right to that beautifully. So I still like the level 1760 spot 75. You get a push up into that area. If you are unable to close 4-hour candle above it, you might be heading lower. All right, but I'm not looking for that to happen. But I've been wrong before. A lot. I've been wrong a lot before. So NZD, Aussie NZD, I was looking for a trade on this, but I was looking for a bullish entry. I did not get it. And we got some selling. Aussie was weak last week. It got real weak real quick, but the NZD was weak as well. So this asset sold off. You are in an area of support. All right. So let's just give it a day or two and see what happens. If I go into a daily chart. All right. So it was just that 4-hour level. Was it an 8-hour? All right. So this is your 8-hour support. Go to the last bearish candle. That's your 8-hour support. You are currently testing that as resistance. All right. What the heck just happened? No, this. Thank you. That is the support. We use the bodies of the candles. So you have already tested that. The market is open. You've already tested it as resistance. Will it roll over from here? I don't know. That was a pretty big bearish move. I would like to see it come up higher before looking to look for short entries. I would love to get it up to about 107.242, this area right here. Go into a smaller time frame and see if you can find something better. Well, you could look for this swing low maybe to come in as resistance. I don't know. I like that area up there. Let me see if I can get some on an hourly. All right, so there you go. You got an hourly candle here or here. You can use either one of those. So I'll put a line on there, one spot, 06980. Push up into that and a failure on an hourly basis. Be looking to take that to the short side. And Chef Yen just going crazy, doing all this nonsense. I was short on this last week. All right, I caught this move to the downside. This move back to the upside stopped me out of the trade. I got short right on this right in here. Boom, is a nice trade. This has already took me out. So, yeah, nothing to do on Swiss yen. If it holds support, it's at an area where it may hold support, 117 spot 223. Then this may be a long opportunity targeting the high that was put in last week, right there, 117 spot 792. All right. As of right now, it looks like that's what it's maybe shaping out to do. You do have a level right here as well. All right. This is a week. That was a weekly. I just moved it down. Now it's the hourly, but pay attention to that level. As long as you can't close below there, you're good shape. Looking for this thing to take out those highs up there for the near term continuation. However, it still looks bearish to me. All right. Still looks bearish to me. Let me go out to a daily and see what happens. So it's bullish longer term, but that was a pretty vicious move. And you can see you've already traded up into a market structure level on a daily time frame. I'll stretch it out so you can see what I'm talking about. This level here, you came up into that area and you tested it and you rejected it and you closed red on the day. However, you did close back above this area too. So this area is going to be a place to look. Since the current momentum is to the downside until you get closures up here, you're looking to take this thing to the short side, targeting this low down here. That's just how I roll. I could be wrong, guys. Don't take this stuff for face value. Look at it more as something that you're just trying to see what I'm looking at. All right, because you don't know if you're going to be right on a trade till you take it. And like I said, longer term, this thing is kind of in an uptrend. You know what I mean? But when you're chopping around in all this mess right here, there are opportunities to take, and I look for those opportunities. So let's see right here what happens. All right. It looks like it could be a good long, but I wouldn't be looking very long just to that area right there. All right, because basically what can happen is you could get up there, take out all the liquidity up there, and that's where I would be looking to exit the whole position, because I'm assuming short sellers will be looking to re-engage up there. They're obviously not going to want to sell it down here. They want to get a better risk to reward. Up there would be a better risk to reward to sell, targeting this low down here that was put in. So that's on that. Euro yen or euro pound. Euro pound had a nice big bounce out of there. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right. This was a nasty daily candle, but it's overstretched to the downside as well. So you're in kind of this precipice where everything is in kind of a I don't know area. So this would be a good area to look for a short. 0.87590, and you got a descending trend line that'll come in there, give you a nice little confluence area right about there. As long as it's trading down here, there's nothing to do. Up here, you could possibly look for a short, depending on how much momentum carries this thing forward, if it's going to move higher or not. We don't know. So you may get stopped out. Just make sure you trade with mitigated risk. All right. Pound New Zealand dollar. It's did the same thing. Big move to the upside Friday, but you got a closure above that resistance, which is important. It's always important. This candle right here, wherever this thing closes tomorrow, will basically tell you what's going on with this. Anything down would be, looked at as a bullish pop in price to get short, looking for trend continuation to the downside, because longer term, yeah, it's down to choppy. You know what I mean? So, but it could be pulling up out of here. I mean, you are starting to form some sort of like bullish action. You are making higher highs and higher lows. So if you want to wait to look for bullish opportunities, let this thing pull back. You know what I mean? Yeah, let it pull back. Find something on a smaller time frame. I don't like this horseshoe looking move. It makes it very difficult to gauge something. So you got something on an hourly. If you want to look to go long, look and see what happens when you get a pull back down to this hourly bullet or bearish candle right there. 1.91442. If it comes down there and is unable to close an hourly candle below that, might be an opportunity to the long side, targeting this wick right here first, and then this over here. All right, so target, take profit 1, take profit 2. If it even goes back down there. There was a lot of momentum in Friday's trading, but it's kind of hard to that really kind of doesn't mean anything to me. So everything still looks about the same. All right, so let me go see what y'all want. Let's see here. Ready to resume the bull cycle? Yeah, on Bitcoin, absolutely we are. Thoughts on BTC would follow. Thoughts on BTC would fall further down to 41 to 42K, but not sure if it will fall further. Got me some DCA at 45260. I got Bitcoin right here. Here are the three levels that I'm watching for Bitcoin. The first level is 43089. This level right here. This yellow line is your old all-time high. It may find support there. It may not. I like to indicate those areas because other people will watch that and other people will look to buy ahead of that. All right. Thinking that this is a pullback. So you have a breakout, retest, resume to the upside, but on a bigger time frame. And then obviously this daily market structure down here would be my favorite place to get long. But as long as it stays closing daily candles above these two areas right here, there's no reason to think that it's going to go down lower. Had a big sell-off coming into this week or last week, so we just have to wait and see. I am bullish on Bitcoin. It was just as bullish can be. I am only viewing this as a pullback in price for another buying opportunity, for another push to the upside. That's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. So there really isn't anything to do. These three levels, you can pause the video and put them on your chart if you wish to watch them. That you will get tradable bounces, at least off of this area and this area down here. I almost know for a fact. I don't know if it'll hold support. But that's the areas that I'm watching on the coin, the king of all assets. Thought we'd be at 38K. Yeah, we may. There was heavy selling. Yeah, there's been a little bit of, like I said, man, last week seen some market volatility. And in volatile markets, people tend to get chopped up. So just be careful. Mitigate your risk. Yes, this is live, Mr. Kyle. Silver trade of my worst trade of my life, still going 3 weeks later. Yeah, I hear you, Carl, brother. I hear you. I'm losing money on that one myself, bro. I'm losing on that trade myself. I thought that thing was going higher. Did not do nothing. USD Mexican. Let me find that. That way I know where I'm at. I just seen it and then the thing glitched out. There it is. Gotcha. Yeah, let me check that out, Andy. As I had my eyes on it last week, too, it is starting to get nice looking. It's starting to get nice looking because you have this. Oh, what is all that nonsense down there? All right, so you have this, right? Boom. Boom, right there. That, my friends, is what you're looking for. This, when I say lower highs or higher low support, I'm talking about this move right here. So we came up, had a daily closure, took out the market structure. This was the last candle that price touched or that price closed at. All right. That level right there. It's important because if you scroll over and look, you can see every time price traded back into that level was rejected. You traded up into that level on the first attempt, rejected. Second attempt, rejected. Now you got your closure, your daily closure above that level. This level is gone. So then price did what it does best. Slowly migrated to the downside. Whereas if we go into a smaller chart, I bet we can find an area to have been looking to buy. I don't know, say roughly around there. That's not hindsight. That's a bearish candle. That's how I draw my charts. This is what I look for. Now, you did not get all the way down there. That's fine. But you could have been looking to buy in this area. And that is your higher low support because you made a high, pull back, found support, and it's a higher low than this low. So that's your higher low support. That's your entry right there. Entry. Boom. Nice trade. So moving forward, looking for the same thing until price proves us wrong. All right. Don't see anything on a 4 hour. Let's go look for an hourly. Beautiful. Right here is a perfect spot. 20 spot 69450. Sorry, my Ray Liotta voice is coming back. 20 spot 69 right here. See what happens when price gets down there. All right. If you're unable to close an hourly candle below that level, might be a good place to look for bullish entries on USD Mexican. Now, if next week or the week after we get back down beneath this swing low, then you have to look for short trades. But as long as you're making higher highs and higher lows, you look for bullish trades. All right. This is just range bound activity, pullback activity. Get a nice big spike down in this area. You would get all of those stops resting below, this low, and this low, which is good for us. That generates liquidity in the market. They have to sell their position. Well, that's good because we want to buy it down there possibly. So that's how the markets work. Look for that on USD Mexican for the week to come. If anybody wants to sell ADA, sell it now because I'm about to buy it. What's up, Indiana Jones? I like that. That's the way you got to roll, my friend. That's the way you got to roll. Don't let these bearish candles frighten you, people. Come on. We're traders. We don't care about no red candle. Come on. I buy those things. Silver wrecked based off resistance, totally failed. It damn sure did. You ain't even lying, my man. And that broke my heart. I was so much looking to collect that money, but not happening. The market giveth, the market taketh away. Don't trust the precious metals for trading. Too much manipulation. I may look into PAX G when gold returns. However, take risk. Yeah. Hey, that makes sense, Jordan. Absolutely, it makes sense. I don't care about market manipulation. I don't talk about it because I see it. I trade in the direction of it. That's what I want to happen. So if I'm looking to take an entry on something, all right, something, let's say this right here. All right. So everybody's trading to the downside or to the upside. It doesn't matter. I'm going to point out this candle right here in particular. All right. Now it did go up, but you did come up and you did stop everybody out that was shorting from here. And then you went lower. Now it didn't stay down there very long because it's a bull. It was more of a bullish asset. Still is a bullish asset. I'm just going to lose money on the trade, but you still haven't closed the daily below that last bearish candle. So let me get rid of these lines and show you what I'm talking about. You're still bullish as long as you're closing dailies above 26.35, man. That's just the way it is. You are still bullish as long as you cannot close a daily below this right here. As long as you're up there, this is your support right now. So people are going to be looking to buy that because this is a pullback opportunity to get long. I just don't see it getting up here where I'm at on those calls, which is why I'm accepting my loss now and just getting it over with. Yeah, I would love to wake up and see a massive spike to the upside. That's not really how markets work. But look for the manipulation and trade in the direction of said manipulation. It's not really manipulation. The Forex market is the biggest market in the world, meaning that you're trading against currencies, countries, currencies. So you got big hedge funds that are moving billions and billions of dollars inside and outside of these assets, and they need liquidity in order to get in and out of the market. They can't just say, well, it's going against me, I need to sell here. They need liquidity to get out. So that's why you get big moves when firms on the wrong side of the trade, because they got to get out and they can't just market sell like you and I can. They have to wait on orders, liquidity, and a lot of other things. That's why the markets move the way they move. That's not manipulation. It's straight up opportunity, in my opinion. Aussie CAD coming into a trend line support. Yeah, I have. It's basically the same thing as Aussie. Where's it at? Did I delete it? Aussie Yen? I don't see it, but I definitely wanted to talk about it. So let's go get it. So here's Aussie CAD. It looks almost identical to Aussie Yen. All right. It is coming into trendline support. You are currently fighting with this market structure area there. You did get a closure below where I would have looked to go long, but you have not closed below the swing low. All right. So you are still bullish until you get that daily closure below 0.98074. This is your swing low. So that closing price of that bearish candle is going to offer up support. As long as you're not closing daily candles below that, it could be going higher. Absolutely. Buying opportunity when you see stuff like that. If you get down to here by the next day or two, then something else is going on and you have to reevaluate the position and obviously the direction. But yeah, man, you never even retested this breakout down here. You did on one daily candle and then you took off, had a pullback here and then you took off. So I don't believe the markets are crashing or nothing. I just think it's a pullback. Bro, where do you trade XAU USD? On silver, Lawrence. I buy silver calls and silver puts, SLV, the stock ticker symbol, because I'm in America and I can't trade the same asset. Like I can't trade it. I mean, I could if I got another broker that trades in those kind of the futures market, but I've already got so many accounts to manage now. I don't even need to learn how to trade futures. I just short the silver stock or buy the silver stock. That's what I do. Mike was also looking to get long, but broke long-term trend. Line has made me a little thrown. Wouldn't mind his opinion. Callie, Mike was also looking to get long. What are you talking about, Carl? I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you could drop the symbol down in the chat, I would take a look at it. Let me smash up real quick just to see where we are. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Pound NZD. Yeah, let's look at it, but we'll look at it really closely. I just looked at it briefly because I'm in pound Aussie. Pound Aussie and pound NZD is almost sometimes the same trade. So I do have this trend line coming up in here. All right. You did not close below this swing low right here, bro. So you're still bullish. All right. That's your last support. You traded away from it. You have not even tested it yet. And you had a big, strong move out of there. And I'm not saying it was because of this trend line. I threw this trend line on after the fact, obviously, because this was Friday's candle. So I just threw that on there just to basically show you that you do got higher highs, higher lows, higher high. And as long as you're not closing below this support level, higher low. All right. But you take that out, then it's a lower low. So you're not doing that. You had a big strong push out of there. I'm watching 1 spot 92225 first, which is you broke out. This was your resistance near term. This was your resistance. You got your daily closure above that. So you want to go into a smaller time frame chart and look for that area to be tested and look for that area to hold possibly. All right. And you even closed above the 8-hour resistance. So this is, it looks good. If you take this area out to the downside, then just give it a minute. All right. Your first area is all the way down here. So as long as you're trading above 1 spot 91486, I like it to the upside. If you close a 2-hour below that candle, I no longer like it to the upside. That's just my opinion. I don't really like it to the upside a whole lot, but you are making up higher highs and higher lows. And I follow the market. As of right now, the near-term trend is up. So look to buy it. First level right there at 1 spot 92225. Second spot, 1 spot 91486. Unless you can find one on a smaller time frame, and there's not one there. I don't really, unless I'm looking to enter a scalp, that's when I break out the 5 and 15-minute charts. I want price to find support at a major key area, and then I'll look to get short or long. So watch those two areas, all right? On the pound New Zealand. That's what I'm watching. Just give me a moment. I'm scrolling through these comments real quick. EGLD USD. Why not? Absolutely. I'll look at anything you guys want me to look at, as I pretty much went over all the Forex things that I wanted to look at. So I do believe we looked at this yesterday. You are getting a nice, and I am currently long. You can see the P&L right here is 1 spot 18% long on this thing right here, ETH XBT. So we'll see how that works. If I get stopped out, I'll let you know. I ain't afraid, dude. I do this for a living. You know what I'm saying? I ain't afraid to tell you that when I lose trades. So, all right, back to what you wanted to look at. Sorry. You just reminded me of that. And I hadn't even looked at it since I started the stream. EGLD USD. And let's look at it on Finex. This is the one we looked at yesterday. All right, so here's your area to look. You can see you got it tested it, and then you've moved away, but you're still trading. You took out this area here, and I don't know why we have that. Let's go see why. All right, that was a 4-hour area. You did get that 4-hour closure, but in cryptocurrencies, especially alts, there's not much liquidity in them, so they don't trade exactly as perfectly technically as Forex, but that's still good. That's, in my opinion, a support hold. So you are holding support currently at 1 spot 2384. This line here, it's simply taken from this bearish candle. So in the near term, and I do mean extremely near term, you are making higher lows, higher highs. As long as you're not taking out this area down here, then it's okay, in my opinion. The longer term is to the upside, so you do only want to look for bullish entries. It's looking constructive. All right, I do like it. Looks good. Last 2 days were nice and strong and bullish. Today is a retest day. Looks like you have found support at that 4-hour level. It's not trading extremely strong away from there, which is what I would like to see, but there's still an hour left on this candle. So give it a second, give it a minute. You start heading lower, making lower closes on hourly candles. If you're long, then obviously you should probably think about getting out. I don't know how you're positioned in it, so I can't really give you any trading advice. But as of right now, man, I mean, it's the longer term is bullish, and you're trading within side of a range, and you're looking good, looking good. All right, so I know I read that. Now I can start heading lower on these comments, get some of this stuff taken care of. Yeah, I'm apologizing for not answering questions, guys, when I'm looking at the charts. I need to figure out how to get the chat on the same size as at least on one of the screens that I'm looking at instead of on this one. That way I can see them pop up as they come. Euro Aussie. What do you think about a short? Let's go look at it. Let's go look at it. Right here is right there. All right. Yep, that's that Aussie weakness. All right, I capitalized on that. Just I used pound instead. An Aussie short. That's a lot of momentum to the upside. So just keep that in mind. All right, there is an area that is only been tested once with this push right here. See, the thing is everybody's going to be looking to buy this. I do. It's obviously in a downtrend. So yeah, I like to short pops in prices on downtrends. But when they start taking out swing highs, and you took out 2 swing highs. All right, so that was your closure. That's where you found resistance. All right, that on your 3rd swing high, essentially. All right, so when you do stuff like that, you got to take a step back and say, hey, I like to short pops in prices, but when they take out key market structure swings, do I still want to look to get short? So what I would suggest you do is look on a smaller time frame and see if you start taking out market structures on an hourly chart to the downside. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going lower, because this could be an area to get long. It's just one of those things. It does look like a good area to short, because no one's looking to short it right now, especially with that momentum. Everybody's looking to get long, and it is in a near term or a long-term downtrend. But the problem is each one of these areas are going to offer up areas to either a buy or, yeah. Since it took out those market structures, I would give this some room. And that's my professional opinion. All right. You took out this swing high, you took out this swing high, and you were working on taking out this one. That's a pretty big pop. Now, it could be a short squeeze, absolutely, because you had stops right above that swing high. You had stops above that one too. So it can absolutely turn around and head back lower. Just keep an eye on it. Make sure, like I said, make sure you keep in mind that this thing had a lot of momentum Friday for some reason. So generally what I do on these things, Bay, and I'm not calling him Bay because I love him, but that's his name. What I generally do, man, is I like to let this, if it wants to go higher, let it find lower high support. Don't try to short the top right here. If price was in this area or even this area, as long as you're trading under this stuff, then yes, you look to short that stuff. However, I would have gotten stopped out, as well as many people did right here. So now it's time to wait and see if you get a lower high and see if that high holds. All right. If you get, because it may be an opportunity to get long. I'm not calling a market reversal, but if you go to a daily chart and look at all the regular stuff, I mean, you were oversold and you popped out of there very strongly, and you went all the way up to the bullish control zone in 2 days. Boom, boom. Massive volume coming out of there as well. If you look at this, that volume was moving up a little bit on that day. So this could be a near-term low. And you could be right. It could be a great opportunity to get short. Since I don't know, I leave it alone. Hope that helps. Yeah, I answered that. Hello, could you look at AUS 200 and the UK 100 and the German 30? I think it's the German 30. Yeah, UK 100. We'll go take a look at that on Oanda real quick. Look at Oanda. All right, so we had some areas, looked like, yeah, you had some selling coming in as well. Let's clear this chart up and get some new ones. All right, so you came up here. This was your support or your resistance. Last bullish close on a daily chart. This is how resistance works. All right. Don't use wicks, guys. Use the candle bodies. Use the bodies. Look at this. When you trade it up into that resistance, you got a wick above, close below. Wick above, close below. Wick above, close below. That's indicative of failure. Then you got that failure. Now, you were holding right there on that daily level. So this was going to cause a bounce, but they sold that bounce. Boom. So the near-term momentum is to the downside. All right. But bulls could simply be looking for lower prices to buy it, as no one likes to buy highs. So let's go find your first area of support is going to be this last bearish candle's close, because nothing has closed below that area. And that's what, by definition, makes it support. You can't use this area because this candle already closed below it. And your next one is this one down here. All right. So if you're bullish this asset, you don't want to see any daily closures below 62.52 spot 40, 6252 spot 40, or 63.98 spot 80. Let's see what happens when price gets to here, as that's a pretty nice pullback from these highs up here to get long again, targeting that wick. All right. If you start taking out these areas, then you're possibly heading down to these areas, and it's one of those things. But this goes just right along with the S&P 500 and everything else. It's not bearish until you're taking out bearish targets. As of right now, you did take out some bearish targets last week, but you have not taken out this bearish target, and this bearish target. So until that happens, I would be looking for long entries. But I definitely want to see support. Meaning I would love to see a bounce, then a takeout on a swing high, and then come back in. And on that pullback, that's when I would look to attack. All right. You can't just buy price when it's making its move like right now, or sell it right now. You need to wait for formations. That way you can have logical, defined areas to throw your risk around, whether you're shorting or going long. And those areas do offer those defined areas to put those stops, your swing highs and swing lows. ETH BTC, yeah, all right. I'm in ETH BTC. That's the one I was in, or that I am in. Where did it go? There it is. All right, so my main thinking on ETH BTC is this area right here, this white line right here, as this is your daily market structure. And then that was also your last close. However, the support would be this candle here. Nothing has been able to close below there. So I like it all the way down to there. I went ahead and got long because it was showing signs of turning around on smaller time frames. All right. This big wick right here caught my eye. It was a spike up. Basically what that does is that clears the way. All of the selling orders right here and up here are gone. So now we can push forward. And that's what I'm looking at to happen. We are struggling right here at this area. And there's a reason why. It's an hourly market structure right here. You can see that it's almost flawlessly holding price currently still. So I want to see an hourly close above that. I get that, then I'm safe and I'm good, and I'm going to continue to hold it long. There's the position. It's up one spot, 5-6%, so almost 2%. Yeah, I like it long, near term and longer term. I would love to see us get up here and close an hourly candle above that swing high, That would reassure me a little better. As long as we're trading underneath this hour market structure, I'm not liking it too much. But I'm already in the position, so it doesn't really matter to me either way. But as of right now, that's what I'm looking for on ETH BTC. I'm looking at this to go higher. So let me go back over here and get these AUS 200. As you can tell, there is absolutely no rules in this. I just basically go with the flow. So this thing is pretty choppy. It doesn't have much liquidity. It says right there that it's a CFD, which is an asset that we can't trade in America. We cannot trade CFDs. It is not allowed. And you're pushing lower, but you're finding support possibly. The market is open currently. This is it right here. That's your last bearish candle before you chose to trade away. You've came back in, you've tested it. Now, I don't like the fact that you're not making a higher high up here. I would love to see a higher close up here. That would be more validating for me if I was long or looking to get long. When you're not making those highs and you're going right back to test the level again, it makes the chances or the probabilities of that level actually breaking more plausible. All right. Longer term, it's just doing a pullback. If you're looking to buy this for a swing trade to the upside, it is a valid area to buy it. Since it's so choppy and everything, there's nothing I can get on a daily. Here is your 8-hour market structure level. As long as you're trading above 65.99.25, I like it to the upside. That's your last area, though. You start closing below that, then you're going to be looking for lower targets. As of right now, I like it there, and I would be targeting just that wick high right there because that's the last one. So that's where all those stops are sitting. But you had momentum to the downside. Just always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind if you're looking to buy. So a closure above these three candles would be better. If looking to get long. And what was the last one? A German 30, GR 30. All right. So these all look very similar. Except this one's. So the UK 100 is still not eclipsed its sell-off move back in March. This one has. So this one is stronger than the UK 100. I didn't look that far back on the AU 100 or whatever it was. I just looked at. Apologies for that. But this one is stronger than the other two. So you did get a nice close up there. You did close below this, but with that coming down so hard Friday, you had a lot of stuff going on. So let's see if you can get you already got a closure back above. You're opening up there. You're starting from up there. So this is in a tough spot because as long as you're trading inside of this, it can turn around. If the bears are in control of it, you can get all the way up to here and look to short it. That's what I mean. So as long as you're trading in this, you're trading within this range, this price range. Let me get the music up and running. So as long as you're trading in that price range, this is all going to be looked at as a selling opportunity simply because you took out this swing low on a closing basis. So I can't really tell you to get long here. I mean, it does look better and it does look stronger, but it's one of those things. The near-term trend it's been choppy at best, and then you got a move to the downside. So you need to start getting higher highs and higher lows on a smaller time frame, at the very least. Before I would look to enter this, I would want this to get out of here or look to short it. One of the two. An 8-hour closure above 14.14022.90, that invalidates the short. Just a simple close above that. Your short is done. Cooked. That's just a pullback candle from this push lower. So yeah, this one's a hard one. You're trading in a massive range. This is your range right here. Boom. This candle right here, that bearish candle, and this up here, this bullish candle. This is the range to which your pain is in. So I don't like ranges like that. It makes it difficult to trade. But for one thing, you made a lower low. she did make a higher high. So it's confusing. It's confusing. Give us some time to check itself out. Let it tell you what it wants to do. All right. It will. Price will reveal what it wants to do later. Silver could be manipulated. All markets are manipulated, Iron Fist. Every time you put a buy or a sell order into a market, you are by definition manipulating the price. All right. Every asset is manipulated by buys and sells. There is the strategy that I'm trying to teach you can get you on the right side of the manipulation, if that's what you want to call it. Atom Cosmos. So I'm assuming that's Atom USD and Cosmos USD, because I don't think you could trade those two separately. Yeah, you came up here, but you got rejected. That's never good. That's never a good sign, not for the bulls. So what I would want to see is I need to see an 8-hour closure above 19.84 before I'm looking to trade this to the long side. If you're buying and holding it, this is a good area to buy it, to put on a small amount. Look to buy a little bit more if it heads lower. It's probably going to do whatever Bitcoin does. Yeah, you made a bullish push out of there, but you were unable to close above it, my friend. So this push up right now is going to be met with selling intentions. Unfortunately, it's the same with all of them. I just took that long on ETH BTC. It's purely as a speculation play. I don't really care if I get stopped out of it or not. So it depends on how risk averse you are. What is your risk preference, risk tolerances? I don't know. I don't like to see that reversal, or not the reversal, but the rejection. That doesn't look good. And you made a lower low. All right. And you got to close below that stuff. So since you couldn't make a higher high, you got to look lower, unfortunately. But these things can move on a dime, just like that. One firm can come in and buy a shit ton of this stuff and cause a massive spike to the upside that would trigger all these stops and FOMO buying. So, but as of right now, it looks like it's being sold, unfortunately. And then Cosmos. Oh, man. Cosmos. I'm not right on that. That's for sure. It's a ticker. Right there it is. So it doesn't trade against the dollar. Tether. And Bitcoin. You're in an uptrend. You're in an uptrend. You're chopping back and forth. You're in kind of sort of price discovery. Now, you did make a higher low. You came back down and you tested support and you moved higher and you made oh, no, you didn't. You did not make a higher high close. You barely did. And then you reversed out of there. But you're currently holding this area right here as support. So if this area fails, then it's heading lower. This is it right here. If you fail here, you're coming lower, and I would target this wick down here. All right. That's if you fail there. If you stay closing 8-hour candles above this area, and even up here, I mean, technically, even right there, I like that. You can still catch support there. Your current candle has taken out the previous candle's high, which is a good thing. If it closes above it, might be some bullish signs starting to wake back up in this thing. Might be looking to get bullish again. It looks better than the last one I just looked at. I like the last one better, or this one better than the last one. Mainnet for tomorrow, be careful. Yeah, I'm always careful. Everybody should be careful. Thank you very much, Toya. That means a lot to me. I really, really appreciate it. The kind words. What one book would you recommend to any trader wanting to better understand your style? Unfortunately, I have not written that book yet, Elias. As soon as I do, I will let you know. I focus on candlesticks, support, resistance, and I use trend lines to help basically, but my main thing is candlesticks. I believe in my heart of hearts, candlesticks tell you everything you need to know, and you can base a strategy built upon that to get an edge. That is my edge. There is no books that I'm aware of that talks about the exact way that I trade, because I basically just got what I could and ran with it and been trading like that ever since. Years of studying the candlesticks. This tool right here, this bar replay tool on TradingView, that thing is, it's worth its weight in gold. It's a very, very good tool. I used that thing for hours and hours and years. That's how I got to where I'm at. I can't recommend a book to teach you in my style. I am going to be dropping some strategy videos soon, I promise. The Russell 200, the rut. Let's go look at it. Looks good. It's been bullish as crap, dude. I mean, you've just been boom, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So are you turning around? I don't know. You are creating a broadening formation up here, so that can be looked at for the shorter term as a bullish signal. I mean, a bearish signal. However, you got a support area right underneath current price at 213 spot 31. All right, this is the ETF. Unfortunately, if you want me to look at the futures, I will have to go find them. But you got support right under you. As long as you're trading above that support, it looks good. It looks good. It doesn't look bad to me until we clear out this swing low. And by clear out, I mean a closure below. So it's definitely a lot stronger than everything else looks currently. Yeah, the S&P 500 had a pretty big day. Let's go look at the NASDAQ. Yeah, the NASDAQ looks terrible. The NASDAQ's the worst one. It had the worst move out of all of them, from the highs all the way up here to all the way down here. And you have taken out this swing low here and this swing low here on an 8-hour closing basis anyways. So until you get above this swing high, people are going to look to sell this. But it is always stonks only go up, right? It is a buying opportunity because you got to pull back. So yeah. I don't think anything's happened in the news to make these markets crash, people. I just don't see it happening. I didn't see anything in the news. This is just a pullback, and it's going to be looked at as such for me anyways. I'm using trend lines usually. Yeah, I just use them basically to show you guys that the trend is up or the trend is down, or basically what I'm looking at. Hey, Jordan, I digress today. Better luck tomorrow. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's okay. Trading is a game of seeing patterns over and over and executing and recurring patterns. Japanese candlestick formations with some gray theory mixed in. Game theory. Yeah, I don't look at the candlestick formations as much as, like, I don't look at cup and handles and rising wedges and look for those things to break down or break out the way they're supposed to regularly. There's only 3 candlestick formations that I look for in a chart. All right, those 3 candlestick formations are your inside day, outside day, and your trending day. Those are the 3 candlestick patterns that I look for, and that is all they are. There are no other kind of candle. You only have an inside candle, an outside candle, and a trending candle. With just that bit of knowledge right there, it gives you 1/3 of an edge because it can only do one of those 3 things. Those are the only candlestick patterns that I look for. Everything else, I'm just following the near-term trend and looking for great entries, intraday trends or swing trades. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not in the camp that looks like all the way out to here. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work. Let me go into a Forex chart, as it would be better off. Like, I'm not in the camp to say, well, this was resistance back here, so it will probably hold again. Now, it does work, obviously. I mean, it's traditional style support and resistance. And you did get a little bit of price wavering once you came up into that area. But I'm looking at what price has done lately, as that right there is where I get my information from. Now, I will use what price did years ago if price is trading up into an area. For instance, like right here where it is now, I would go in my chart and there's an area right there. I can see it. All right. That area would be the first area that I would look for support test or resistance or whatever. I would rather use this one or this one. Those were untested as they left the area. That's how I gauge This thing will just not work, will you? There you go, right there. Boom. This one, boom, like stuff like that. Yeah, I will look just for a reference, but I'm basically looking at what price has done lately because that's how I judge my trading decisions on. Price is being traded every second of every day, so the near term is important. As of right now, this thing's moving up. Looks like it's getting rejected, so I would probably look to short for just an intraday move. If I'm looking to swing trade, then I'm looking to buy this. You see what I'm saying? With my scalping strategy, I don't short anything unless the next day is bearish. Also, like I'm not looking to short. If the Euro USD tomorrow when I wake up is bearish, then I'll look for short entries. If it's bullish, I won't. That's one thing that you can look at to just give you a rules-based strategy. A strategy is about you forming a bunch of rules and sticking to those rules every single time you trade. That is the start. To become a consistent, profitable trader, you must first become consistent. Then you can weed out all the stuff that is making you unprofitable. But you must first come consistent. Make the same trades over and over and over again, and then you've got data to formulate, data to work with. Thanks again, Minister or Mr. Anytime you guys talk, I listen. I have a question on BTC. We had our 42,000 mountain and now over our 58,000 mountain. The first pullback. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at it as. I'm looking at it as the first pullback. I mean, you had a big, huge move. It's got to pull back. It can't just keep going up. It cannot just keep going up. Oh, man, I'm wrong. There it is. Can't just keep going up. And this candle looks nice as that's an outside candle. There's your outside candle on Bitcoin. Beautiful. This trending candle, outside candle. You've taken out the low of that candle. You have taken out the high of that candle. That's not really enough to go on, but that's better than nothing. Obviously, people are going to be looking to short it right here at 46.3110. The day traders, they're going to look there as an opportunity to get short. So let's see what happens. But this is a good sign. It's a better sign than this candle, right? Even though it isn't closed, we wait on candle closures. All right, let me see here because I know I'm missing tons and tons of stuff. All right, there I am. Let's move lower. Read on an EGLD. New one yet. Thank you. Like your speed. Yeah, I go slow. I go slow on purpose. Are there completely different wizards in those books? Or is she new one just a remake? I'm not sure what you're talking. Are they completely different wizards in those books, or is the new one just a remake? Oh, the Market Wizard books. I think the new one is I think the new one has new traders in it, but maybe some of the old. I haven't read it yet, so I can't say for sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in and dropping that like. Appreciate it, my man. PET or FETUSD. Let's go look at it. And then FETC, BTC. Got you. All right. This is calculated by TradingView, so it's got a lot of wicks in it. You're trading in a range up on highs. There's nothing wrong with that. Your upper area of resistance is going to be 0.3069. Your lowest area is this low that it just closed and put in. All right. So as long as you're in this, you're going to get chopped up. If you're looking to trade any of this right here, you have currently held this right now. All right. But since you've been inside of this accumulation for so long or distribution, we will not know until price shows us its hand. Looks like people bought this market structure level right here. All right. But you got some work to do. You got to take out these highs and then you can look for another pullback and an entry long. If you're looking to trade it, you're looking to buy it and hold it forever. Yeah, anywhere down here is a good area to buy a little piece and then add a little piece lower. I mean, it's making a, like I said, I'm not a pattern trader, but some semi Quasimodo head and shoulders looking ugly thing there. So we will see. We will see. You did make a higher high, a higher close than this area right here. And you are testing an area that looks like it's holding up. So yeah, you might be turning around here. But once you get to this area, it's going to matter. going to matter. There's really nothing to do right now on it. And then FETBTC. Binance. This one looks better. And that's because Bitcoin was weak, but Bitcoin may be getting some strength in it right now. You did not close above that. All right, let's go to a daily. Screw the 8 hour because it's been range bound for quite some time. So right there it is. Boom, you did get a daily closure slightly above that level. All right, slightly. Not enough for me to call it yay. You know what I'm saying? But this is all bullish action, and it looks like right now people are looking to enter it long still. So you had a pullback into support. It's finding support. I don't know exactly what it's using as support. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that right there, this last old area over here, seems to be holding it for now as support. So it looks like it may be making moves, but like I said, if Bitcoin gets strong, then they're going to look to sell it right up here. Once price gets up here to 571, people are going to look to short that. Looking for a good platform to leverage trade. Got Kraken and then big dip happened. Not sure if I want to go in there. That's what I'm using right now, Lawrence. It is a risky thing. What's up, Myra? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by, Myra. Mara or Myra, I'm not exactly sure, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Guys, if you want to learn this strategy, take a screenshot and go over them in your own time every day. Yeah, that's a little bit of that's a way to say it. Absolutely. That's why I do them, and that's why I call out the levels by price. You know, that's a good way to learn it. It's a very easy strategy. If you look at my YouTube channel, in the banner, it says simplify your trading. All right. That's the way to become consistent. And then ultimately, you must first make a goal. That first goal is to become consistent. The second goal is to become consistently profitable. If you're consistently losing money, ask yourself, are you taking the same trades over and over again? Or are you all over the place? Are you shorting sometimes, longing sometimes, buying dips, selling head and shoulders, buying bull flags and all this other nonsense? You're not consistent. You're not consistent, to say the least. You get consistent. That's what helped me turn it around. I was a loser for a very long time. Once I found consistency, I take the same trade over and over and over. Then I can calculate and analyze the data and go from there. And then I got what I'm working with right now. And it works great for me. But everybody's different. Everybody's going to have their own little inner devils and personality traits that they're going to fight with. So it's up to you. Short's about to get wrecked on Bitcoin. That's possible. That's possible. I'm absolutely bullish on Bitcoin for the long term. Thanks, man. Awesome. Thank you for being here. What time period do you prefer to trade on? What's the best time to learn on? All right. So I look at the daily chart to gauge direction of your longer term trend. I look at the 8-hour time frame as my intraday chart because you get 3 8-hour candles intraday. There are 3 sessions intraday: Asian, London, New York. That's why I use that. I try to find 8-hour levels, and then I will drop down to 1-hour time frames to look for intraday opportunities, taking shorts or longs based upon that information. So hourly, intraday, 8-hour, daily, weekly, monthly. Every candle you see up here, I use every day. So my favorite, or the one that I would stress the most, 8-hour and daily. That's where you find your golden levels. Those levels will provide you with tradable bounces almost all the time. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up as I've been on for an hour and 23 minutes. If you guys got anything else you want me to look at, go ahead and drop it in there now. All right, I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Link. All right, I'll see. I just missed Henry's comment. I was just looking on my phone. Bitcoin link. I looked at Bitcoin and I looked at EGLD. I'll go look at link for you. Where would I have that? Probably not in the orange one. Purple. Right there it is. All right, link against the dollar's not looking so good. That's an hourly. Get off the hourly, dude. All right, so yeah, it looks, man, a lot of these things look almost like Bitcoin. So they're probably going to do what Bitcoin does in the near term. Currently right here is your support. All right, 24 spot 73. That is your support. And your first area of resistance that you got to get a daily closure through is 28 spot 13. This level right up here. As long as you're closing daily candles in between these two areas, there is no high probable setup. Unless you're looking to short the high range and buy the long range. That's not the way I trade. You can trade like that if you wish. I know a lot of people that make money doing that. A lot of money doing that, but I don't. So that's your two areas right now you need to get below. I do like the fact that you tried to breach this. This candle closes in 35 minutes. If you close here or higher, I would be looking for the top side of the range to be tested. All right. And that's the near term. If you close here or higher, you could look for the top end of that range to be tested. I mean, I'm just scrolling down through because it's a little bit easier for me to read the comments on the phone. There's a lot of comments that I did not get on this other platform for some reason. I have to figure this out. Trader XS wants AUD USD. Yep, I got you. AUD USD. That's going to be in the Forex list. And it's going to be right there. All right, so this is a weekly market structure level up here. You can see how we got into that and we moved lower. That's beautiful. And you did get a daily closure below your trend line support. That doesn't really necessarily mean that it is no longer valid. However, you closed below this daily swing low. You are currently right now moving up into that area to test it. So let's break this down. That's your daily level. All right, so that level is going to find some support or resistance first and foremost. The next area that I would look, if you're looking to short, would be 0.78246. All right, if you get an hourly closure above here and here, this area would be the money-making trade, in my opinion, if it's going to head lower. All right, that's the big fat if. You took out all this down here with this move. So this move up, I like it for a short currently. I will be looking to short it if it cannot close an hourly candle above 78246, this level here. Remember, in the Asian session, if price is moving up, I look for the London session to reverse that. Not always, but a lot of the times. So, yeah, this is going to be your first area. Would I take a short from here? Absolutely not. There is no risk reward there. The risk is all to the upside. Because when you traded out of here, this level was not tested. You see how this pullback came in and you wicked up, but you did not go back and test it. That leaves in whatever you want to call it, inefficiency or whatever. You call it whatever you want to call it. There's stops above there, and that would be the area that I would look to get short. Would no longer be looking to get short if it breaks above that. Because all the other ones, well, that one wasn't neither. This one wasn't tested. Basically, it was, but not quite. So you could be moving up to test this one right now. This is my favorite one. Watch that level there. If you're looking to get long, then you want to see this thing take that level out on a closing basis and then look for a higher low support. All right, guys. What's the Discord room name? It's not a public Discord, so you're not going to be able to find it. There is a link in the description, but I'm going to tell you right up in advance that the link for the description is for a course that Jordan has made. That's how you have to get access to the Discord. You have to go through his course. I just put it down there for anybody that would be interested in it. Other than that, that's the only way to get it. So that's the only way to get it. Is a link in the description. So you guys have a great night. Just drop a comment in the comment section below if you want me to look at anything in particular that I missed today in today's session, and then maybe the next time I do a trade or a video or a live stream, I'll go over it then. I really appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you so much. All the respect and all the love you guys give me. I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you so much. Happy trading. Make sure you trade safe and make sure you trade. Oh, you are in the course? Just email. If you haven't got the link to the Discord, email Jordan directly. Jordan directly. All right. If you don't have Jordan's email, you can go to my on my YouTube channel to the about page on my channel and send me an email, and I'll forward that email to Jordan for you. All right. All right, guys. Have a good one. Trade safe, trade happy, happy trading, or trade smart. Trade safe, trade smart, happy trading.